Hey everybody, Brian Zane here to give you my predictions for this weekend's Summerslam pay-per-view happening in the Thunderdome. I'm very excited to see how this thing finally pans out. This is being filmed before SmackDown, so I don't get to see what it looks like beforehand, but you know, I've seen some images, some leaked images of kind of like the set in construction. It's all very exciting, and again, just having a venue change, like a change of scenery from the Performance Center, from Full Sail, I mean, that's going to be just nice to look at. Obviously, it's kind of like, it's a gimmick. It's not going to like help improve the prize at all, but it'll look a lot better, maybe. We'll see. But let's begin with the predictions here, starting with the hair versus hair match, Sonya Deville versus Mandy Rose. First of all, horrifying to hear the attempted kidnapping of Sonya Deville at her apartment with the crazy, creepy stalker fan. Also, Mandy was there at the time, so she was in danger. So glad to hear that they're both okay and that nothing happened to them physically, but God, that's such a scary situation. Guys, fans of all, male, female, doesn't matter. Don't be creepy little shits. Anyway, the match itself, this whole thing, the whole build has been very one-sided towards Sonya here. She has pretty much gotten the jump and gotten the edge on Mandy at every single turn, and right on down to the part where she cut her hair, which brought about this hair match in the first place. That being said, I can't imagine Mandy's going to lose more hair than she already has, so I think that she's going to pull out the win here, and Sonya's going to have to be, I mean, I don't know if they're going to commit to it and have her actually be shaved full-on bald, Sinead O'Connor style, that's a dated reference, or if she's going to kind of like a short little kind of a crew cut or something. I don't know what they're going to go with that, but I mean, I do believe Sonya will lose, and it will kind of push her more into the kind of the crazy ex-best friend kind of thing they've been doing with her to begin with. U.S. Championship match. Apollo Crews defends the belt once more against MVP, only now Lashley and Shelton Benjamin of the Hurt Business have been barred from ringside. So we'll truly see if MVP can win the big one without the help of his friends. I think it's going to be another good match here. I think Apollo is going to win. He's going to come out on top here and retain. Just keep that kind of push for him going. I think MVP is great in his role right now, where he's kind of the elder statesman, but still has a lot to give in the ring and on the mic. I don't think it's going to hurt him to lose this at all. I think he can just keep being in that position he's been in for the last several weeks. He's been really one of like the big kind of workhorses of Raw. Maybe not in the in-ring stuff, but as far as like a driving force of like storylines and mic time, like he's one of the top guys on Raw right now. So I think he's in a pretty good spot at the moment, but I don't see him becoming the U.S. champion again. The Street Profits defend the Raw tag titles against Angel Garza and Andrade. The build for this has been very weird. It's been kind of all over the place. I feel like for the last like month and a half, we've been seeing like these teased bits of tension and possible breakup between Angel and Andrade, but it always gets smoothed over, and there's always denial of the conflict, and then just kind of magically evaporated. And meanwhile, you've got this kind of last minute thing in the build to this where Montez was poisoned by Zelina Vega, you know, just trying to throw whatever they can at the wall and see what sticks in the build to this. So as far as who's going to win, my thought is we'll see Angel and Andrade win and become the new tag team champions. I think that they've got a good thing going with the three of them, the two of them and Zelina Vega. So let's keep it going. Let's put some belts on that and see how it goes. The Street Profits are just fine and dandy with or without the championships. I mean, as far as them being champions, I don't really know, like, I can't think of like what they did that was especially memorable outside of their feud with the Viking Raiders, which was memorable, but not exactly good in some cases. So I think this will be a chance for to have some fresh blood in the tag division, have some new champions. That's my prediction. The Street Fight, Dominic Mysterio versus the Monday Night Messiah, Seth Rollins. This is a match that is 15 years in the making, because of course Dominic's pay-per-view debut was SummerSlam 05, sitting at ringside as Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio fought in that hellacious ladder match. So it is fate, it is kismet, if you will, that Dominic's in-ring debut officially happens at SummerSlam. I think it's going to be a fun match. The story that they've been telling with this ever since Seth and Rey Mysterio got into it has been just, I think it's been very well done on the whole. And I think Dominic getting involved hasn't felt forced or rushed. It feels very organic, and the stuff they've been doing in the ring to tell the story, I think, has been just spectacular. It's been one of the stronger points of the mid-card, at least, on Monday Night Raw. And I think Dominic's going to look great. I think he's going to have a lot of moments to shine, but Seth is going to kill him. And if he doesn't take his eye out, he's definitely going to beat him up quite aggressively in this matchup here. I cannot see Dominic winning this thing. Seth is going to win, but it's going to be a fun match to watch to get there. Then come the women's championship matches. I mean, I don't know how they're going to go with this, if it's going to be one after the other, or if Asuka's going to get a break, or what. This one's really tough to call because, I mean, so many people have been predicting the downfall of Sasha and Bayley for so long now, and the eventual like singles feud they're going to have. It's almost kind of a parody at this point, how much we've been kind of wanting that to happen. I think if it's not going to happen beginning in this night on SummerSlam, it's never going to happen. If you don't have some kind of implosion where one or both ladies lose the championships, leading into Payback where they maybe lose the tag titles, but who the fuck's going to challenge them for it? What team do you have who's credible? Anyway, if that doesn't happen then, I don't know what's going to happen. So my predictions for how this is going to go, I think that Asuka will regain the Raw Women's Championship because she's a Raw star anyway. And then there's going to be maybe Asuka. I mean, I'm so on the fence as to whether Asuka's going to win both belts. That I think would almost be overkill, and I think, but I think that maybe Bayley eked out a win at the end. She still has the championship, and ultimately you'll get some kind of confrontation with Sasha and Bayley for that belt. So my pick, I'm going to lock this in. My final answer: Asuka wins back the Raw Women's Championship, but does not win the SmackDown Championship. Universal Championship on the line as Bald Braun Strowman defends against the Fiend Bray Wyatt. The storytelling they've been doing with this one has been pretty crazy in the last month or so. You know, you had the stuff, well, first of all, begins all the way back at Money in the Bank when Braun beat Firefly Funhouse Bray Wyatt. But then he was teasing, ooh, the Fiend's going to be lurking in the shadows. Then you've got the swamp fight at Extreme Rules. That was what it was. Braun was thrown into the briny deep, and he comes back as a newly reformed monster and everything, so now he's super duper evil. He drank all the ooze, and now he wants to take it out on the Fiend. So it's like, I don't know where this is going to go, because, I mean, obviously, and I think Alexa Bliss will be involved somehow in this thing. I'm trying to think of who she's going to help or hurt, who she will betray, that sort of thing. I think a lot of people are kind of speculating, ooh, maybe Alexa will finally be Sister Abigail and she'll turn on Braun and join I don't want it to go that far into it. I don't want to go full-blown Sister Abigail fanfic speculation with this one. It's hard, man. It's like, I think that Braun as this like new evil presence where he's like more powerful, more evil now, you'd hate to see that, you know, suddenly get wasted with him losing the championship. But then again, the Fiend, it's like, geez, how many times can you have him lose? I mean, it's been, I think, a couple of times too many to begin with in his relatively short run of actual Fiend matches. But God, I mean, like, after losing to Goldberg earlier this year, you have to have him win it back, right? It's such a toss-up for me. If I had to go, I'm just going to go with my gut. I'm going to say Bray Wyatt regains the Universal Championship with help from Alexa Bliss. And finally, Drew McIntyre defends the WWE Championship against who is arguably his greatest challenge to date, Randy Orton. And Orton has just been on absolute tear since the Royal Rumble in his feud with Edge, to WrestleMania, to Backlash, all the way up to now, where he's been punting legends hither and yon, and now he is booked probably stronger than he's ever really been going into a championship match, it feels like. Again, kind of like what I said about the Universal title match. It'd be a shame for either one of these guys to lose, because I think that both guys have been booked incredibly well. Drew has been such a good, just a well-booked champion. He's strong. He's rarely vulnerable. When he does get beat down, he gets his heat back fairly quickly. And like, it's just one of those cases where a babyface champion is actually booked strong, and you don't ever really doubt his odds or his abilities. That's really refreshing. It's kind of rare in WWE these days. Meanwhile, Orton, like I said, the resume he's had for the last, 6 or 7 months speaks for itself. How could you not reward that with a championship reign? God, it is a real hard one for me to pick. I don't know. I'm just going to pick one name out of random. I'm going to say Orton wins. It's tragic. I hate to see Drew have a championship reign that never gets that full crowd experience. But, I mean, I'm just going to go with my gut here and say that Orton finds a way to win. I think it's going to be a good match. But, yeah, we are going to see some heartbreak. I think we're going to see, oh, did I just kind of inadvertently, do something there? I don't know. I don't know. Crazy times, you don't know. I think Orton's going to win. But let me know your thoughts. What do you think is going to happen at SummerSlam this Sunday? Let me know in the comments section below, and I will see you on the other side for my review happening Monday morning. I'm Brian Zane, and I'll see you next time.